room full of, I don't know what to call you anymore, conservatives, Republicans, fascists, I don't know. Are your parents Americans or immigrants?
No, my parents are United States citizens.
But they're immigrants, you said.
No, they came here as immigrants. However, but
So they
I
are
want to make the
immigrants.
claim that we cannot
I came here as an immigrant, I'm an immigrant.
But at this point, when they came, the United
People
States
aren't happy with the way this is going. First, Fourth, Fifth, 14th, 22nd Amendments. Those are my amendments that I came with today. If you don't want to debate them, just say so.
Are you supporting like raping innocent women? Nuns, dude. Killing priests? I mean, priests don't brandish guns and kill people.
You just refuse to condemn the Nazi Holocaust, my friend. I don't think you're in a position to ask anyone any questions.
I said that one pardon against somebody.
It was 1,600 pardons. 600 of those were people charged
one
with...
example that you just gave me.
I can give you more. Should I keep going?
Fine.
Shane
And I'll say the exact same thing every single time.
Then your argument will fall apart.
This was one of the more frustrating things to watch. Jubilee, once again, platformed literal Nazis on their platform in the spirit of, as their founder Jason Y. Lee puts it, reaching a middle ground. It rarely occurs. Meanwhile, one famous hip-hop artist would enter the chat.
Mehdi's face on this Jubilee, it just came out. It already got like 1 million views. Mehdi Hasan's face after they get up from talking to him, it's like, yo, what in the he looks genuinely like, yo, like what in the is going on? It's like he want to go back to London. It's like they're gonna make him go back to London. He like, what the fuck? Boy, when I tell you, there are moments in this that are hilarious and horrifyingly soul-crushing. The things that these people are saying. And then Mehdi's being a straight gangster. Just boop, 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 boop. Just whatever side of the fence you on. Yo, this is gonna go down in history as one of the most defining moments in media, bro. This has to win like an Emmy or some shit. This is wild. Super wild.
That being one of the best lyricists out there, Chicago's own Lupe Fiasco.
The United States is not a bad nation, it's a noble nation. And then you go out there and you talk to a lot of younger people, and this is what gets me. That your constituency are not exactly political science PhDs, okay? They're impressionable kids.
I don't think that matters. I don't think you need to have a
they
political
listen to you,
PhD
Mr.
understand politics. To understand politics, I don't think you necessarily need that. And I don't think that politics are as complex as people like to make them seem or out to be.
Lupe knows a thing or two about the media space from his hits on Fox News with Bill O'Reilly.
For me, it's like I'm trying to fight the terrorism that's actually causing the other forms of terrorism. You know, the root causes of the terrorism is the stuff that the U.S. government allows to happen. You know, and the foreign policies that we have in place in different countries that inspire people to become terrorists. You know, and it's easy for us because it's really just some oil, which we can really get on our own.
To the now defunct What's Trending.
You don't have to listen to my music, you know. Why do you have to subject yourself to such this onslaught of just negativity every day? You know, that's why I can't listen to the radio. It's like I can listen to the radio for one day and wait 3 months and then turn it on again and get another dose just to make sure. Like I listen to Fox News, but like the Patriot, like the crazy news station where they really go in every like couple months just to remind myself that it's still nonsense out there. And that's the only reason I listen to it. It's like, yeah, that's still crazy.
He would dish on Murdoch's media empire.
Malcolm X was a preacher. You know, Martin Luther King was a preacher. Jesus was a preacher. You know, and people have no problem with them being preachers. But at the same time, too, people had one hell of a problem with them being preachers. You know, so what side do you take? Do you take the side of the Romans? You know, do you take the side of the Ku Klux Klan? You know, do you take the side of COINTELPRO? And you say, yeah, they're preachers, and they should just be, you know, why they got to talk to us so much? We kind of know, you know, do you take that side, you know, or do you take the side of the people, you know, of their message, of what they were saying, you know, and how deep and meaningful it was, and the risks that they took to now, you know, after their unfortunate demises, that they are the standard of humanity. Those preachers are the standard of humanity from a religious context, and if you're an atheist, okay, then you have James Baldwin You know, and if you don't like black homosexuals, then okay, there's Malcolm X. And if you don't like black Muslims, okay, then here's Martin Luther King. If you don't like Martin Luther King, then here's Howard Zinn. You know, there were these people pointing fingers, you know, who are now the standards of what humanity is. You know, and morality and ethics, you know, and compassion. So hell yeah, I'm a preacher. You goddamn right.
And give history lessons one clip at a time. On the Jubilee front, before I get to my thoughts, a few TikTokers were cooking on the app.
Hey, so Jubilee needs to be shut down because they are simply a vehicle to legitimizing far-right and fascist content. One of the recent videos that I had a major problem with was the 20v1 with Dr. Mike. It was supposed to be anti-vaxxers versus a doctor, and it just ended up being a bunch of people who just hate doctors and just opening up about their problems with the healthcare world and not actually having a debate. And anytime Dr. Mike tried to go into depth and explain something with real science and facts, they would throw all the red flags and he would have to shut up. One white guy claims to be Native American and has the right to this land. Another guy admits to being a fascist and the entire room applauds him. And the third guy tells Mehdi Hasan to get out of his country because he doesn't want him. This goes beyond the rage bait style content that's inflammatory and is supposed to invoke conversation and goes full on into sympathizing with objectively wrong people. But when you start platforming people who are openly and proudly saying they are fascist and part of these harmful ideologies to your tens of millions of followers and viewers, you are sympathizing with them.
Peter is Peter on TikTok.
The whole thing is basically a stringing up in verbal form. Jubilee put Hasan in a room with a bunch of people who would gladly unalive him if they were in, you know, the woods at night rather than a lit camera studio. One guy is literally shaking with adrenaline and barely restrained from actual violence, and Jubilee is trying to pretend like it's some form of fair and balanced debate. It's a mockery of debate to start with, and Hasan was completely right to say that he doesn't debate with fascists. There's no point in giving those type of views any type of platform in the first place. It's just a sign of how far into fascism we've already fallen, right? People don't like to think about it, but these are the everyday people that voted for Donald Trump. First of all, the fact that, you know, these people feel comfortable acting like this openly on media says one thing, and then the fact that the media feels comfortable putting it out is entirely another thing. Hasan was right. You don't debate with fascists. You don't give them a platform, because by giving them a platform, you're implicitly saying that it is acceptable to debate about dehumanizing people, right? Because that's what fascists do. They dehumanize people, they pick an enemy, and they pretend that they're subhuman. And to debate with a fascist is to say that the value of a person's humanity is worth debating in the first place. And it's not.
To another favorite of yours truly, Silent Middle Child on the same platform. And here is where I stand once more. This platform is not conducive to entertaining different schools of thought in a legitimate sense. It is political fodder. This is not debate. This cosplays as debate. What I have seen over and over again with every single clip that I have watched from this show, that I have either been forced to because it will continue popping up where other shows cover it, and also where I will see someone like Haas go over it and talk about it, and many other shows, again, do so as well. What I think is most troubling is that Jubilee is winning by utilizing a content strategy that sets us back further as a society. They are benefiting from this hatred. You know, that's my headphones. Quick shout out to, by the way, me, because I interviewed Professor Richard Wolff on my podcast, The Rick Strom Show. Go check it out. I watched him debate a fellow economist. And to many who are in this hypersensitive way of viewing politics as reality TV and the WWE, and even The Undertaker saying, I love how you made politics fun again. It's not fun. This isn't supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be dry. It's supposed to be boring. It's supposed to be boring policy where we don't have culture war vultures leeching onto every topic so they could avoid putting forth good policy to keep us distracted. I digress. A distraction, while a distraction. But nonetheless, I digress. To prepare for my interview with Richard Wolff, I watched a few of his debates. And they, guess what? We're boring. They're not supposed to be, oh, there's Hulk off the top rope, oh, and the Ultimate Warrior with a clothesline. That's what it's supposed to be. But do you think Jubilee would benefit from having someone like Professor Richard Wolff debate 20 conservative economists? No, because the jargon and the language is too high for an electorate in this country where the education level is utterly preposterously low. They know where their bread is buttered. Yeah, they'll put out a few videos here and there, but they really have inroads by doing political discourse. And Jason Wiley said in an interview that we aired, I believe, yesterday or 2 days ago with Taylor Lorenz on her YouTube channel. Go subscribe to her. She's a fantastic journalist. Where he said they will vet people. Really? You'll vet people. So you're okay with platforming Groypers. You're okay with platforming Nick Fuentes stands. Great replacement theory people. That's insane. So he's admitting that it's okay to air these ideologies because we have to find this fallacy of a middle ground that does not exist, because you don't platform fascists. You don't platform Nazis. I agree with what Anthony, Silent Middle Child, on TikTok said, where he said they do dehumanize people. They pick an enemy and they pretend they're subhuman, and to debate with a fascist is to say that the value of a person's humanity is worth debating in the first place, and it's not. Freaking men. It's not. Jubilee doesn't care. That's why they've seen their numbers skyrocket. That's why they have, 10 million subscribers on YouTube? Because you don't monetize off of, morality. You don't monetize off of, in that sense, this debate culture, which I intentionally do not partake in because I don't believe in it. I believe all these people are opportunists. Every single one of them. Mehdi Hasan tried his best. He's also promoting his outlet. More people are going to follow him now. It's fine. It's fine. But those people that go up there, what they're doing is try to make a name for themselves. And what we have seen from the conservative mind is that all that they want, like that dude in the backwards hat saying we should deport you, it's not rooted in fact. It's shock jock culture in this format of a conservative 20-something-year-old who is potentially a lost cause. I hate the platform. I hate Jubilee. I hate what they have done. I hate the fact that this is acceptable. It is not.
Well, hello to the committee. I'm Isaiah Martin, and it's very apparent that no one seems to know why we're here. It just seems as if many are just sitting here going with the emotions. And it makes sense, because the game is rigged. We already know this way the situation's going to be. Many of you that are Republicans that are looking at you guys understand the game. You got to get Trump's endorsement. That's the name of the game to be a Republican nowadays. And you know very clearly that Trump told every single one of you that he needs 5 seats, is what he said. So why do we play this game where we come here to an empty chamber in which all of you pretend as if you don't know what's going on when you already know what the situation is? But the real conversation that we should be having, that I want every single one of you to understand, is that there will be a retaliation for that. You've seen states like California say that they will gerrymander Republicans out of their states. You see the same thing in Maryland. The same thing is going to happen in New York. While you were in here, Governor Kathy Hochul said that she will be gerrymandering Republicans out of their seats. The same thing is going to happen in New Jersey. So for all of the work that you guys see, that you guys claim to be doing, when we should be talking about the fact that we live in a state that is unaffordable for people, our economy is wrecked, people cannot find good jobs, we literally have property taxes going up every single year, despite the fact that you Republicans have been in office for nearly 30 straight years. I mean, this is the game that we live in right here. And you choose, after we literally got after one of the worst mass casualty events in our state's history, to go and gerrymander people out of their seats. That's what you have chosen to do with your time, because you're scared of Donald Trump. You are scared and terrified because you're seeking an endorsement when you understand the truth. And the funny part about it is that you all know it's true. You can't react to it. I see you guys' faces. You can't react to it, but you all know what the situation is. Because Donald Trump runs this body. He runs your vote, he runs your vote, he runs your vote, he runs your vote, because you guys know that you cannot dare cross him. And ultimately, what we need in this state are people that have the cojones to actually go forward and call this stuff out. Because what you guys have done to this state is cataclysmically horrific. And I think that everybody across the nation should be able to go and look at what you guys have done. So I look forward to Kathy Hochul getting rid of you guys as Republican friends. I look forward to Phil Murphy getting rid of your Republican friends. I look forward to Wes Moore doing the same thing. I think Andy Harris
Please finish
had a
your
long
testimony.
congressional career. He's about to be done too. All of them will be done. And you can thank your failed, senile, dilapidated, Epstein partying with president for all of the work that we're about to do to every single one of you.
Thank you for your testimony.
You did this, you caused this, and this is the result of you and your work. No, I'm not going to finish.
Witness's time has expired.
I'm not finished.
This is Isaiah Martin. He spoke out against the gerrymandering Republicans are doing in Texas.
Because ultimately, who doesn't have a say in this are the people of this state, the 40 million people that you guys just kicked
Witness
off
will come to
healthcare,
order.
The people of this state.
The witness does not. The witness is not recognized.
As a result of what you guys have done, this is a result of your policies, and you have no shame.
Okay.
You have no shame. None.
The witness.
Zero.
The witness.
You have no shame for what you've done, and I think that we all should be standing up here and
just cut off his mic. Cut off his mic. Okay. That the gentleman will come to order. We will maintain decorum. The gentleman will be reminded one last time. The gentleman will come to order immediately. All right. The sergeants are directed to remove the gentleman from the room.
What happened next exactly? He had his mic cut off, and then...
You need to have shame. You need to have shame. History will not remember you for what you have done. It is a shame. It is horrific for what you have...
Jesus! Jesus, get off of him!
It's horrific for what you have done. Sir, you should all be ashamed. America will rise up against you.
Whoa, sir, this is my first amendment. I'm sorry, you can't just wait.
As the chair has exhibited throughout this hearing, the purpose of today is to hear your testimony. When individuals fail to maintain order or decorum, it's disrespectful to the other individuals that are here.
There were multiple incidents thereafter.
You know, the funniest part about the Republicans sending me to jail was when I first got there, I actually did a town hall for the inmates. I know it sounds crazy. Basically, when I told them the whole situation, they were asking me like, what? Congress? How does that work? They're asking me about tariffs and childcare. I taught them how to register to vote, like how the whole process works. It's crazy. So when I think about it, not only did those Republicans and Officer Pillsbury Doughboy cause millions of more people to talk about their gerrymandering scam, I got a good opportunity to go talk about politics with some inmates that probably hadn't thought about it before. Definitely something I'll never forget. Oh, and if you want to make those Republicans matter, because you know, all charges were dropped, you can chip into our campaign, link to my bio. Let's send him a message.
Plus, he was sent to jail. Don't get me wrong, great speech. It blew up on TikTok. It blew up on Twitter. Was it all by design? And should we potentially see this as a stunt? Well, Let's dive in.
He's just running on. He's running against an opponent who's like 70 years old, right, in Texas, and she's pro Medicare for all, and he's not. It's just simply the aesthetics of progress with no actual interest in making change.
Why is he taking pictures with one Rafael Ted Cruz?
Excited to see this pass in this next legislative session.
Ted Cruz's comms teams has entered the discourse. Love to see you supporting someone who supports our great senator. Oh my God. Oh no. Oh no. No. Like, how do people find these people, man? What the fuck is going on? Then there's the campaign website, which initially included a platform but has been completely deleted. Olivia Giuliano also deleted a tweet of hers praising the abortion platform, as can be seen by his quote tweet. Previous platform highlights included full support for Israel as one of America's longest allies. It hasn't even existed for a century. Support for keeping private health insurance, implying opposition to Medicare for all. No support for making four-year college free. Notably, Isaiah found space in his platform for Israel, but not for LGBTQ rights or for the climate crisis. As these folks noted, yeah, this is what I was thinking of Eliza Joshi.
What's up with the Greg Abbott photo?
Even like other Gen Z TikTok Biden campaign defending liberals have been on this guy. He makes no policy mentions on environment, which is wild because even Republican Gen Zers are like bringing up the environment. All of those like Beto loving Gen Z guys in Texas, like what the are they doing? This lady is another one. Olivia Giuliana, 20, pro-growth progressive, fourth-generation Texan, abortion rights advocate. All opinions are my own. Isaiah Martin launched his campaign today with support from voters tomorrow. It quickly became clear that he's a centrist Zionist with a potential Republican sympathies. I'm going over the thread of all evidence below to keep it updated. Here he is in 2020 posting for photos with Governor Greg Abbott. This is at a rally for a GOP candidate, Angelica for Texas, who took tens of thousands from anti-abortion groups and Clarence Thomas's favorite billionaire Harlan Crow. According to his LinkedIn, along with Mark Cuban, one of Isaiah's interests is Republican in brief Trump press secretary Anthony Scaramucci. And it's one of my interests too, so that one is whatever.
Why in 2020 of all times did you tweet your affinity for one Joseph Rogan?
Also, according to LinkedIn, Isaiah worked as a tough on crime Houston DA, Kim Ogg's assistant campaign manager from 2021 to 2022. After she had just defeated a challenger on her left, Ogg has tried to kick a socialist judge off the bench and continues to support the death penalty. This is probably his biggest crime. He said Joe Rogan has the best podcast on air, man. No comparison at 7:30. 2020. In 2022, Isaiah voiced support for suspending state and federal gas taxes. Texas will feel the worldwide increase in gas prices at the pump. Ask yourself, why hasn't Governor Abbott called a special session to suspend a gas tax? You know what this reminds me of? Bro, he's 100% one of those like r/neoliberal ass Democrats, dude. That's what it is.
I will say this one time and one time only. That's a lie. I'll say it more than once. Politicians are not here to save you. There is no perfect politician. This man is technically a politician. He is running for political office, and he's done this more than once. I believe what he is trying to do is stir up enough attention and garner enough support to continue running over and over and over again. He has a dream to be in political office. Why, it seems, there was potentially a switch is a question that I would have for him. I think his lack of Medicare for all, in this climate especially, is mind-blowing. I think him having Israel on his priorities page and then removing it is a tell. And to be clear, it's almost microcosmic of the Dems. They're suddenly on board. Like, I got a notification today that technically my senator, Tammy Duckworth, blocked arms, used her vote to block arms to Israel. Very late, but finally. Is he doing the same thing? Like, the past is troubling. The affinity for things that we might not agree on is pretty interesting to me, because I think I just view him as like a centrist lib. And while he is right with how he addressed the Texas House of Representatives, there's just more than what meets the eye.